Welcome back to the channel. In the interest of continuing the theme of things you never thought you'd see on this channel, today we have our first EV. Now I know what some of you are thinking, it's about time he came to his senses and got rid of those internal combustion engines so that he could reduce his carbon footprint and save the planet. Well, it is true that I will be able to plug into the grid and not burn fossil fuels in my vehicle. Instead, because I'm plugged into the grid, I'm just using clean electricity generated by fossil fuels. So, we have the first fossil fuel powered vehicle with extra steps on our channel, I guess. Now, if any part of that statement offends you, go ahead and leave me a comment down below to tell me how offended you were, that you're unsubscribing and everything else, so that I can move on and find somebody else to offend. For everybody else that realizes that 80% of the United States power still comes from non-renewable resources, let's continue and take a look at our EV. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I did have to pay full price for this little guy. Traxxas makes a bunch of RC cars pretty much ready to go. They are customizable and they make all different kinds. This one happens to be the Traxxas Rustler 4x4. And the reason I chose this one was it's perfect for what I needed. I wanted 4x4 so we go through the tall grass. I wanted something that does at least 30 miles an hour because that is the top speed of a German Shepherd. But it does 30 miles an hour on flat ground with the lowest grade battery. I have the upgraded battery, so it does 60 miles an hour plus on flat ground, which translates to somewhere over 30 miles an hour in the tall grass. There is a gearing kit for it, and it will go over 65 miles an hour, but who needs to go that fast? I don't need an assault RC car. But they make all different kinds. They make two-wheel drive ones, four-wheel drive ones, six-wheel drive ones. They have all kinds of race cars, boats, whatever you want. But this one was perfect for what I needed it for. So I had a little fun with it. That's why it kind of looks like this. It has some battle scars. Probably should have filmed this part of the video before I drove it around. But yeah, it's got some holes in it. It looks like it drove through downtown Chicago. So these things are fully customizable. You can get different wheels, you can change the gearing, different suspensions. All the parts are replaceable for when you break them. I haven't broken anything yet. I did lose the bottom of the little shock here because I didn't have these stiffeners in here. It was too bouncy, and over a couple bumps it just fell out of there. Couldn't find it in the grass. So put a couple stiffeners in there, made it stiffer, and haven't lost one since. I've run it into a few signs. The dog has caught it a few times and put some holes in it. And the only thing I would like is if Traxxas made a German Shepherd resistant body. But other than that, very happy with it. We'll see how long it lasts. So as if there wasn't enough customizable parts for this thing already, we're gonna add a few more of our own and maybe drill through our brand new floor. We don't have to worry about tearing up the body. I just drilled a 1/4-inch hole, threaded a 1/4-inch bolt through there so we can screw in our GoPro mount. Make sure it's nice and straight. And we'll tighten it down to manufacturer specs. Click. And we'll mount our camera on the top. We're going to face the camera backwards. Hopefully that cuts down a little bit of motion sickness, and we'll be able to see the supervisor in pursuit. Now we can plug our battery in. It's been on the charger. Slip it in there and put our little battery hold down in. Just clips in. Took our wires out of the way and turn it on. And it's ready to go. I'm going to put our body on. This is the clipless body system. So there's a tab in the front that clips in. And then the back locks down. It used to go on a lot easier before the sides got all squished in. Push the tab down and twist the lock on it, and we're ready to go. A lot of you have asked, and the supervisor's name is Daytona. Yeah,
like the Dodge, but she was named after the beach. She immigrated here about 2 years ago from Italy. She doesn't speak any Italian, a little bit of German, but mostly English. She's 3 years old. We've had her for about a year. And before everybody tells me that she's not running 30 miles an hour, it was like 90 something degrees that day. She was a little hot, and she's not even in sport mode. When she's in sport mode, her ears go down and she really hustles. She was just kind of playing around, having fun. So we filmed another day. We don't run her more than once a day because it takes a lot out of her. This time we're gonna try some flat ground, and we'll face the camera the other way so we get a driver's perspective from our car for a little while. And she's following in the distance. So flip around, you can see her. And when our car needs a little breather, you can hide under the truck. She just waits. So for all the animal rights activists that are going to tell me I'm abusing the dog and torturing her, I present you with this proof that I am not. So we're slowly walking away from the car. And it's just sitting there. She's not sure. She doesn't want to leave a man behind. I guess she was going to leave it behind. Maybe not. She's actually gotten pretty good about not biting it if it stops. She just kind of nudges it with her nose to try to get it moving again. And when I do flip it over, it ends up upside down. There is a button you can press if it's on flat ground that will actually turn itself back over.
She's made her choice.
But she uses her nose to flip it back over. She knows that it only runs away from her when it's on its wheels, so she puts it back on its wheels.
So I guess this is the part where I have to go on record saying I am not anti-EV. Of course, all the tree-hugging, planet-saving individuals have already labeled me an EV hater and checked out, left their comment, and left the room in a fit of rage. But no, if you want to drive an EV, go right ahead. The technology just isn't there to make it useful for me, not just yet. Maybe when it is, I'll have an EV, but until then, I'm just going to keep burning my fossil fuels. And all the EV people can save the planet by not burning fossil fuels, at least not directly. And then we won't talk about where the plastic in their EV comes from, and we definitely won't talk about where the elements for their battery come from, or how they get here on big, huge container ships, burning lots and lots of fossil fuels. So if you want to see more footage of the supervisor having the time of her life, I'm going to leave the unedited videos at the end of this video, right after this. So you can go ahead and watch those. If not, this is the end of the video for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired from watching the supervisor run around, so I think this is where we're gonna end the video. So I will see you guys when I find somebody else to offend, something else unusual for the channel, or maybe even something to rebuild. Thanks for watching.